They don't even get caught if they're just both at the concert together. They only get caught because they're openly canoodling at the concert. It betrays a lack of respect for any sort of judgment, but also for a basic value system. The big story of the day on the internet, because of course, the internet is filled with joy and wonder. The big story of the day on the internet is about Coldplay. I know, I don't like Coldplay either, but some people do like Coldplay, apparently. They're still big fans of Coldplay, but apparently this couple will not be fans of Coldplay for long. According to the New York Post, a kiss cam moment at a Coldplay concert struck a scandalous note when it apparently exposed a cheating tech tycoon and his head of HR mistress as the band's frontman, Chris Martin, mused they must be having an affair. So here is how it went down. The kiss cam caught Astronomer CEO Andy Byron and the firm's chief human resources, this feels like an HR violation, by the way, the firm's chief human resources officer, Kristen Cabot. They were canoodling at the event. They got caught on the kiss cam, and they both panicked and then proceeded to sort of dive down, and they freaked out, and the camera stayed on them. At first, Chris Martin thought that this had captured a sweet moment. He said, look at these two. But then he started saying either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. Here's what it looked like.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Well, good call from the lead man there, because it turns out that they were, in fact, probably having an affair. Byron is already married. Cabot recently divorced her husband, Kenneth Thornby. And apparently now the wife of the Astronomer CEO has changed her last name on social media. Here's the deal. If you are cheating on your wife with a person at your company and you go out in public to a concert and then you are caught on camera in this public arena canoodling with this person, that one's on you. That is not on the kiss cam operator. I understand the odds of being caught on the kiss cam are relatively low at any major event, but to pretend that you weren't going to get caught on camera by literally anyone, that was never going to happen, and then to flaunt your affair in front of the assembled thousands, that is some really, really bad judgment that reflects poorly on you, both as a CEO, honestly, and also as just a human in general. That is not a smart move. It is not a good move, and it's not a moral move. Now, why do I say that this is relatively delicious? First of all, I think it's delicious that anybody, the most shameful thing about going to a Coldplay concert is not the actual attendance at a Coldplay concert. It turns out the most shameful thing is that you're canoodling with your HR manager. If the second most embarrassing thing about your night was the attendance at the Coldplay concert, you're having a bad night. In any case, I know I'm ripping on Coldplay a lot here, but it's okay. Anyway, there's something I've always said about being, relatively well-known. Right? I'm relatively well-known. Lots of people take my picture. Fine. I've said before, being famous or relatively famous is the kind of mental equivalent of believing in God, only in the sense that if there are eyes on you at all times, you should act morally. Now, in the world of religion, this is what we actually believe. In the world of traditional values, what we actually believe is there is somebody watching what you do all the time, and his name is God, and he actually is going to judge you for what you do, and your actions in the world matter. And so I don't need to be caught on a kiss cam to be embarrassed about doing a bad thing if I truly believe in religious principles, and if I truly believe in living a moral life. The fact that this guy's only embarrassed when he gets caught on the kiss cam, not to take all the preliminary steps here, which would involve presumably buying tickets for him and his paramour, making the decision, the overt decision to get in a car and drive with this person to the concert, get out at the concert, go into the middle of thousands of people at the concert, and then canoodle in public at the concert, right? They don't even get caught if they're just both at the concert together. They only get caught because they're openly canoodling at the concert. It betrays a lack of respect for, I think, any sort of judgment, but also for a basic value system. And adultery is, in fact, a grave sin. Adultery is, in fact, a terrible, terrible thing to do. And no, he doesn't deserve our sympathy because he got caught on a kiss cam. He deserves our scorn for cheating on his wife. I know this is falling out of fashion now. I know that it has fallen out of fashion in the West to condemn people for cheating on their spouses. But cheating on your spouse is evil. It is a bad thing to do. It is sinful and wrong. It doesn't mean that there aren't lots of people who commit sins. I've said before, you can hate the sin and love the sinner, obviously. However, don't then claim that you're a victim. You're not a victim. Coldplay did not victimize you other than with their terrible chord structure. Coldplay victimized you in no way. You victimized you because you made a bad decision. Failing to own your own sin is, in fact, its own form of sin. It's more on this in a moment. First, who knows you better than yourself? Your family, your friends? Well, actually, there are thousands of companies that might know you better than you know yourself if you don't protect your data online. They are called data brokers. They make billions of dollars tracking everything you do online, every purchase, every location, every conversation, your most personal beliefs, all packaged into a profile they then sell to marketers, activists, and yes, politicians who look to influence you. You could go completely off the grid, or you could just use ExpressVPN. These companies track you through your IP address, your digital fingerprint. ExpressVPN gives you a new IP address in a location you choose, making you virtually untraceable. With ExpressVPN, your connection is encrypted and routed through secure servers. Even your ISP can't see your activity, which is important since they're legally allowed to sell your data to whomever they want. I use ExpressVPN all the time. Whenever I'm on the road, which is a lot lately, I'm on my ExpressVPN because if you're using public Wi-Fi, you're just more vulnerable. ExpressVPN works on all your devices, phones, laptops, tablets with just one click for instant privacy. Find out how you can get 4 months free by scanning the QR code on screen, clicking the link in the description box below, or by going to expressvpn.com/Ben Shapiro Show. That's expressvpn.com/Ben Shapiro Show. Meanwhile, the White House is preparing an executive order targeting woke AI. And it's outlining the president's vision to win the AI race with China, which of course is deeply important. AI is the technology that is going to be dominating the next several generations of human life at a minimum. According to the Wall Street Journal, White House officials are preparing an executive order targeting tech companies with what they see as woke artificial intelligence models, going after DEI. The order would dictate that AI companies getting federal contracts be politically neutral and unbiased in their AI models, an effort to combat what administration officials see as a liberal bias in some of those models. And again, this is absolutely true. There are preset standards that are used by these AIs in order to dictate sort of safety standards. And the goal here would be to say that you can't have a safety standard on an AI that ignores, for example, basic biological fact like men exist and women exist, and a man cannot become a woman. The trend has been troubling AI czar David Sachs and Sri Ramakrishnan, senior White House policy advisor for AI. And you'll recall he was involved tangentially. His name was used in a sort of foolish and I think not particularly productive debate over H-1B visas. There's an interesting conversation to be had. I'm not sure why it was about Sriram. But this move by the White House to make more neutral these AI tools is definitely a good and useful thing. So President Trump continues to win victories. Meanwhile, the Trump administration continues to target illegal immigration. Last night, Caroline Leavitt said that any suggestion that there was going to be amnesty for illegal immigrants, that is not a thing.
From my understanding, the White House nor the president has actually read through this legislation. We've been focused on, of course, the One Big Beautiful Bill, which passed, which is another historic accomplishment of this president in record time. The Genius Act this week, the rescissions package, that's been the focus of the White House. But the president has made it very clear he will not support amnesty for illegal aliens in any way.
Okay, so again, can't be clearer than that. By the way, again, the left is going nuts over President Trump's immigration policy, but they are not so sotto voce admitting that many, many illegal immigrants are receiving federal tax benefits, including things like food stamps. Here's Representative Pramila Jayapal accidentally admitting this.
Yesterday, I was at a food bank in my district talking about the SNAP cuts, the horrible SNAP cuts and Medicaid cuts. And they told me that people are not even showing up to Head Start, where they get their food. They're not showing up to the food banks because they're afraid. And it's not just undocumented immigrants. It is people of all legal statuses. It's undocumented immigrants who have been here for 20 years.
Why, oh, why are Democrats so mistrusted on illegal immigration? It's a mystery wrapped in, wait for it, an enigma. No one knows why so many people are exercised about illegal immigration, except for the vast majority of American citizens. Yeah, the left is terminally online. I've talked about the right being terminally online. The left is also terminally online, and it puts them in severe electoral danger. Well, that's all for now, folks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts down below. Be sure to check out all of the other great content on my channel. I'll see you here next time.